Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you are doing great. I got a buddy of mine, Doug. Doug is a foreclosure expert, and it's not because he buys home auctioned foreclosure houses and goes and flips them and makes money. Doug actually owns, can I say the largest private auction? Is it? Is it the largest private?
Well, privately held. We're not owned corporate. No.
Yeah. So he has not only been in the auction industry, the foreclosure auction industry, for 40 years. His dad started, what, 20 years before that?
Yeah, my dad was around in the late 50s and organized the first trustee that was specialized in doing foreclosures only.
Yep. So guys, to tell you that I was very lucky to be able to partner with Doug, to partner with Dan from I Allegedly, and put together a course on foreclosed homes and how to buy foreclosed homes from the aspect of the company owner that has been doing this for 40 years, has seen literally every scenario, and has actually been paid to bid on homes also in other auctions from big holders like banks, right?
Correct. They have to protect their interest. If a lot of them do own junior loans, and in the case that a first ahead of them goes to sell, they do need to hire a company such as ours to go there and bid on their behalf to protect their investment.
Now, to say that right now is a key and crucial time to start getting prepared for the foreclosure industry, I'm going to read just a little quick thing. And if you guys want part of the early access to this course, we are going to have a discount code below. This is for the pre-filming discount. Once all the videos, we filmed it all yesterday, they're at the editor right now. Once they are fully uploaded, the price goes normal. So just if you want that, the link's down below. It's right here out of the Herald Tribune. Why are so many foreclosures in Florida? Here's what you need to know. Florida has the third highest number of foreclosures in the country so far this year, according to a foreclosure activity report from Adam, a property and real estate data research firm. The report, which examined the year's first quarter foreclosure activity, shows there's been a total of over 95,000 U.S. properties with foreclosure filings, which is up 6% from the previous quarter and up 22% from the year. But this is where it gets interesting. While foreclosures have been on the rise nationwide, Florida had the third greatest number of foreclosures in the first quarter, but Texas came around coming up in number 2, and guess who's number 1? California. That's right. Remember, the mighty are falling. Now, your company, Doug, actually takes care of most of the West Coast. Is that correct?
Yeah, correct. And we're very heavily California. So definitely California is our specialty and where we've been the longest.
Now, just because you're specializing in California, I know you have stuff in Nevada, Texas too, I believe, right?
Yeah,
you're working in that?
West Coast primarily.
Perfect. West Coast. But the rules are all the same around the country, correct? Except for a couple different ways.
State statutes are a little bit different, but the general process of buying the properties is very similar overall.
Now, in the course, we talked about some interesting things, literally even down to the nitty-gritty of how to deal with the emotion, the psychology of the bidder, and how to save yourself a lot of heartache and money.
Yes.
There's some crazy things you talk about, and we won't get into them here, but these escrow bombs. How many people show up and then they find out too late after the bidding's done that there is a problem with escrow?
Well, it's more not escrow, they're called title bombs.
Title bombs. I always say escrow, and that's right, because not every state is escrow.
Right.
I keep forgetting.
Our title bombs usually consist of the most common and worst scenario is somebody buying a second, not knowing that there's a first ahead of them that is delinquent most likely and in arrears, and that if they do buy that property under the second, they do own the property, but subject to that loan that's ahead of them.
Exactly, and that's no bueno. And there's ways that he talks about in the course that you can avoid that you can actually find out how to figure out if you're about to get seriously in financial trouble, let's put it that way. We'll keep it mellow.
Yes.
But yeah, I keep calling it escrow bombs, but they're title bombs.
Title bombs.
And the thing is there's so many quick, I'm gonna be honest with you, my background as a prior real estate agent, just let that license go, but also as a multiple brokerage owner and a real estate investor, I've purchased homes that are foreclosed, but by the last, and we explained in the course, the last phase, the REO, that's the last phase. Correct. There's so much more money to be made at your phase in the foreclosure industry, right?
Well, yeah, it's also more volatile as well.
Yeah.
But the upside is much higher buying at the auction than waiting for it to go through REO.
Yeah. This is insane. Now, your father, to give an example of how much experience, your father was the first in his field in a specific, what did he do? What was he first at?
Well, he was first at processing non-judicial foreclosures. Prior to that, foreclosures were processed through the title companies primarily. So he became the first specialized, what we call trustee sell operation.
And who did he sell his company to?
TD Service Financial was sold to First American Financial, which is part of the First American behemoth.
huge. And so your father's probably watching this right now, excited because he's going to see you doing this. But your company is poised to expand because what has happened in the last 3 years that has never happened in the industry?
Oh boy. Well, we had basically a 3-year moratorium due to COVID, and all the federal, what we call the GSE operations, which is the government service enterprises.
Yep.
And that's Freddie, HUD, USDA, VA.
Yeah.
And actually, a lot of the large servicers, your B of A's, your Chases, they kind of follow the tune that's set by those agencies as well. So they basically have not brought out their government service guaranteed foreclosures yet. We hope to see them before the end of the year. And at that point, we will see great changes in the market and actually how people buy and sell these properties as well.
Perfect. And you said something the other day while we were having dinner, or before actually talking here. Let's get into the frame real quick.
Okay.
You were talking about the quietness right now. Let's talk about that because I'm going to ask you this first. Is this a good time to start getting ready?
Yes. Oh, by far the best. This reminds me very much of prior to 15 years ago, before we had the big craziness in 08 and 07, that it was very quiet. Volume was extremely low. And so this does have that same type of feeling. But it's for different reasons. Before it had to do with a lot of what we call liar loans that were out there.
That's right.
Now I think this has to do more with just the state of the general economy.
Totally.
Of what we're going through with inflation and interest rates on the rise. Those tend to not be great things, the interest rates for real estate.
I agree. Well, here, and check this out. So he brings up liar loans, negative amortization loans, all that kind of stuff. Really, if you look at the core fundamentals, who cares if you're stacking your interest onto the back end, right, with a neg am loan? The fact is, people got into homes they couldn't afford. And right now, we are seeing literally companies like Rocket Mortgage, the largest company in the country, mortgage company, saying, you don't need to even put down 3%. We'll make up the other 2. You put down 1, which means you can't afford the house. And let's, you know what? We're just going to charge you a little bit of fees. We're going to get it on the back end. But they're taking risky loans.
Yeah, they are. And so they better have an REO department that's ready to go at some point.
I completely agree. So now look, I'm going to be honest with you. The way that we finished in this course, and eventually we're going to add some more lessons to it. I think we're at 10 or 11, maybe 12 videos all set with this course. But what we want to do is bring it so basically fundamental. I want you to be able to understand so much more about this industry that you don't walk in to a foreclosure auction and get in trouble. And what we're going to be able to do is pretty soon, we're going to be able to start taking our cameras in because now I know the owner. So I get to go to the auctions and film what it's like. And you're going to see this stuff in action, right?
Yeah, definitely.
This is sweet.
Feel free, and hopefully the people get something out of it and get to see really how the process works.
And you're actually inviting people, as people start to watch you more on camera with me and with Dan, via allegedly, they're going to be able to come and see these auctions because we'll be a way to sort of announce it. So, hey, it's free to come. This is the time to start preparing, start getting to know the people, the terms and all this stuff, and then watch the action. Be quiet and watch how they bid.
This hopefully will help them. Just give them what they're going to see when they get there. So it's not such a shock. And we talk about all the things from qualifying to bid, how you bid, things like that. So,
I got to be honest, when we filmed the lesson the other day, I was excited before I met Doug. When I sat down with him for the first couple minutes, I had to ask him a couple questions just to quantify his knowledge base. I'd ask him one question, he'd talk for 10 minutes, and I go, okay, stop. We got to get this on camera. I got this. And it was the most incredibly easily flowing course I've ever seen or been a part of. So I thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing me on. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, this is going to be awesome. I can't wait to see what you guys do in the next year. I can't wait to see you guys at some of these auctions. Like you said, where do your auctions usually primarily
We are primarily Southern California, which is LA, Orange, Riverside, San Bernardino counties as our biggest ones. But we do the whole entire state, but we do use other auctioneers based on their location closer to the
Possibly Vegas?
I don't travel.
Vegas one?
Yeah, we also
Las
do work
Vegas?
in Las Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah, I do not travel to each auction individually. So
no problem. Well, if you guys can't make it to one of these that I'm going to do, you're going to see it on the channel. So, Doug, I really appreciate this.
Thank you, Ninja.
All right, guys. With that being said, the Economic Ninja is out.